Yo, what up? It's Macklemore on KUBE 93.3.
Seattle's #1 for hip-hop.
It is KUBE 93.3, Seattle's #1 for hip-hop. Your boy Eric Rosado in the afternoon. Ever since we brought back KUBE 93.3, a lot of people have been saying mainly one thing. Yo, where's Macklemore at? You got to get Macklemore on the radio. So, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, Seattle, your hometown hero, it's Macklemore. What's up, man?
Hey, yeah, man. It's an exciting time. It's good to have KUBE back. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it goes back for me since I was a kid. Like that's really how I, being 7, 8 years old on the summertime with the boombox outside, getting the radio signal and listening to KUBE. So I have a long history with the station that goes way before me even starting to make music. So it's great to see it back in full effect.
Macklemore's on the show right now. KUBE 93.3, Eric Rosado with you guys. So since you are Mr. Seattle Macklemore, we got to shout out your neighborhood. Shout out Capitol Hill, right?
Yeah, Capitol Hill's great, man. I mean, like a lot of the city is changed a lot over the years, but it remains a area with some great nightlife. In my fatherhood now, in my dad life, #dad life, I don't get out as much as I used to, but Pike and Pine, in terms of, going out on a Friday or Saturday, those streets are always cracking. It's definitely a cool neighborhood for sure.
You mentioned fatherhood, #dad life for sure. Hey, congratulations on the second little one, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Until you have kids, you think people are lying when they say that to you. They're like, oh yeah, like this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And you're like, yeah, right. You're not sleeping. You're not going out anymore. Your life is ruined. No, it's not the case. It actually is the best. And now I got 2 little girls, so the house has just become more magical, and I'm completely outnumbered. Three women in my house to myself, but I love it. It's amazing.
Macklemore's on KUBE 93.3, talking parenthood, talking music. Does being a dad and being a parent kind of help you in the music career side of things?
I think what it has done is made me realize that life is really precious, and if anything, I think it's made me also realize that there's much more to this life than just being 100% focused on career and myself and climbing the hierarchy of the fame world and making sure that the music's out there and getting played on the radio. Like all those things are super important to me. But what it really has done is be like, man, I just kind of want to be a dad. I want to be at home, and I of course want to continue to make music, and I want to tour and get in front of the fans. But I also want to balance that with being in my daughter's lives and just really being the best dad that I can possibly be. So, it's a daily thing I'm trying to figure out and find balance with. And, I got a tour with Kesha coming up that starts in a couple weeks. So I'm going to be gone for a good portion of the summer doing that and some festivals in Europe. But when I get back, I'm going to kind of lock it down and just get on full-time dad mode and relax, because you can't get these years back.
I was going to touch on the tour here in a little bit, but yeah, you were just on the road in Europe. So with the family and the kids, does FaceTime help? That comes in handy, right?
It really does. It surprisingly does. It's like I'm really grateful for that technology, man. Apple has done its thing once again, and yeah, I mean, even just like that, like 5, 10, 15 minutes of talking to my daughter, there'd be times where, like you said, I just got back from 6 weeks in Europe, and she would just bring me around the house, and she'd set the phone up, and we'd like play together, and via the phone, and it has that connection, and it definitely helps the aching heart of not being there.
KUBE 93.3, Eric Rosado in the afternoon. Macklemore last night, Billboard Awards in Vegas. You and Kesha killed it. That never gets old, right?
Does it get old? No. I think that what gets old for me, if I'm keeping it a hundo, is like, the red carpets and sitting down and the small talk conversations with other people in the industry. Like that stuff kind of wears off a little bit. I'm just at a point in my career and in my life where I'm like, I just don't need to be, having the 1 minute, like, what's up, man? Like, yeah, like, we need to work, bro. Like, for sure. Like, give me your number. I'm kind of past that point a little bit of being excited by that. I think it's still, like, an amazing opportunity. Like, TV has amazing reach, and, we partnered up with T-Mobile to do that, which is really cool. And Billboard, last night I saw Good Old Days, like, someone shot me a text, and it was, went to number 6 on the hip hop charts, and it was probably way further down the line than that beforehand. So TV still has the power to reach people, and the award shows are always a good, profile look. But in terms of the politics of it and whatnot, like the behind the scenes, I could kind of do without at this juncture in my life.
The Gemini album, still one of my favorites. Of course, Glorious was huge. Good Old Days with Kesha. It only seems right, Macklemore, that you go on the road with Kesha and do this tour, right?
Yeah, it just worked. Kesha and I are, we're good friends. And even before the song, like, really popped off, it made sense, I think, in terms of our fan bases. And, we definitely have different fan bases, some crossover, but it's one of those pairings that it's a little bit left field, but also makes sense. And she'll get to get in front of my fans, and I'll get to get in front of her fans. And tickets are selling really well all across the world, or all across the country. And yeah, it's going to be a great tour. I think, I'm going to bring a moped out there and just be in the amphitheaters with the moped and just cruise around and get tan and kick it this summer.
And you're doing the Washington State Fair too, right?
I'm doing the Washington State Fair in I want to say September. So, you being new to the area, you're probably not hip to the fact that it used to be called the Puyallup Fair. I will probably call it the Puyallup Fair my whole life. It is now officially called the Washington State Fair, and it's a great fair that happens in Puyallup, Washington. And I'm doing that in September. A lot of tickets have already sold for that. It's going to be a big show.
That's going to be a dope show and a lot of people's chance to see you here locally, Macklemore. Thank you so much for being on the show and for being on KUBE 93.3, dude. We appreciate it so much. You already know you have a home right here always, all right? Last words for Seattle. What do you got to say?
Love you. Love KUBE. It's history. We brought it back.
This is KUBE 93.3.
Seattle's number